Welcome to Inside the Autistic Mind. I'm glad you're here. Today, we're really diving deep into something I feel passionately about, the incredible, sometimes overwhelming spectrum of neurodiversity. Because honestly, for a long time, I only understood a tiny part of it myself. I remember when I first heard the word spectrum in relation to autism, my brain immediately pictured a straight line, right? From mild to severe. I thought I knew what that meant, and I was so incredibly wrong. So many of us, neurodivergent and neurotypical alike, carry this limited view. We think of neurodiversity as just autism, or maybe ADHD if we're being generous. But it's so much bigger, so much richer than that. It's this vast, intricate landscape of human experience, full of unique ways of processing the world. And it's a landscape I've spent years trying to understand, not just intellectually, but deep in my bones, because it's the landscape I inhabit too.
When I was first trying to figure out where I fit in, I felt so isolated. I had these struggles, sensory sensitivities that felt impossible to manage, social interactions that drained every ounce of my energy, and a constant feeling of being out of sync. I saw the mainstream representations of autism, and I didn't entirely see myself. So I pushed it away, thinking, that's not me, I must just be weird. I mean, it's hard enough figuring out your own brain without feeling like you don't even fit the descriptions of people who are supposed to be like you. I thought the spectrum was a rigid scale, and if I didn't tick all the boxes on one end, then I wasn't autistic enough. It was a terrible way to think, a very restrictive way, but it was what I had absorbed from the world around me. This narrow view meant I missed so much about myself and about others. It kept me from understanding the nuances, the incredible individuality within neurodiversity. I lost so much time to that limited thinking, honestly.
Here's where it gets really interesting, and honestly a bit messy in the best possible way. Co-occurring conditions. For the longest time, I only heard about pure forms of neurodivergence, if that makes sense. But the truth is, our brains are complex. Many of us, myself included, experience multiple neurotypes or conditions simultaneously. For me, alongside my autism, I experience significant sensory processing differences that at times feel like their own unique challenge. I know others who are autistic and have ADHD, navigating the world with both an intense focus and a wandering mind. Or dyslexic individuals who also deal with dyspraxia, where reading difficulties combined with challenges in coordination. It's not a tidy little box for each label. It's more like a beautiful, intricate braid. Trying to untangle one strand from another often feels impossible because they're so intertwined in how I experience life. This overlap isn't a bug, it's a feature of our complex human brains, and understanding it, for me, was a massive step towards truly understanding.
This is where the empathy bridge comes in, I think. Over the years, I've had the privilege of hearing so many stories, often from people who felt just as misunderstood as I have. There's the person who struggled with verbal communication for years, only to find their voice through writing. I think about someone I know who, growing up, was told they were lazy because their dyslexia made reading traditional textbooks nearly impossible. But they could build anything with their hands, a truly gifted engineer. Or the friend with Tourette's, whose tics were constantly misunderstood as deliberate misbehavior, when really they were just trying to navigate a world that wasn't built for them. They've found immense strength in their community. These aren't just labels, they're unique journeys. My journey includes intense sensory experiences, like the crushing weight of too much sound, or the overwhelming feeling of certain textures against my skin. Someone else's might be the constant hum of their ADHD brain, always seeking new stimulation, or the spatial challenges of dyspraxia. Every single story adds a layer to our collective understanding. They are not just faceless to me, they are voices that echo parts of my own struggle and resilience.
Honestly, the weight of being misunderstood, especially when you don't even understand yourself yet, is crushing. I carried this invisible burden for years, feeling like I was constantly failing at basic human interaction.
Why couldn't I just get social cues like everyone else seemed to? Why did loud noises make me feel like my skin was crawling? For so long, I blamed myself. I thought I just wasn't trying hard enough or that I was somehow broken. This narrative, where neurodivergent traits are framed as personal failings rather than differences, does so much damage. It makes us mask, it makes us hide, and it stops us from seeking the understanding and accommodations we desperately need. I remember one time trying to explain to a teacher why I couldn't focus in a noisy classroom and being met with a blank stare, almost an accusation that I was just making excuses. That feeling of invalidation, of having your reality dismissed, it cuts deep. It makes you question everything about yourself. But that's precisely why it's so vital we talk about the spectrum, to build those bridges of empathy. Because no one deserves to feel that alone.
It's been a journey, a really tough one at times, to move from that place of self-blame to genuinely embracing how my brain works. I used to envy people who seemed to effortlessly navigate social situations or filter out background noise. But now, I see the strengths in my own unique wiring. My autistic brain might struggle with small talk, but it can hyper-focus on details and patterns others miss entirely. My intense sensory experiences mean I appreciate subtle textures and colors in a way some might never perceive. It's not about forcing myself to be normal, it's about understanding my operating system and optimizing it for me. This shift didn't happen overnight. It was gradual, built on self-reflection, learning from others, and slowly, gently validating my own experiences. It's okay to have different needs. It's okay to process information differently. It's okay to feel things intensely. Actually, it's more than okay. It's part of who I am. And once I started truly believing that, a whole new world opened up for me. It's like I finally got to be myself without apology.
Understanding the spectrum and all its rich, beautiful complexity has been a source of immense strength for me. When I hear someone describe a sensory overload experience that mirrors my own, or talk about the struggle of masking, it's like a weight lifts. Suddenly, I'm not alone. And that's the power of fully acknowledging neurodiversity, not as a collection of deficits, but as an incredible array of human variation. It's about recognizing that while our brains are wired differently, we all deserve understanding, respect, and the space to thrive as our authentic selves. My hope is that by sharing a bit of my journey and by highlighting the vastness of neurodivergent experiences, we can all build a stronger, more empathetic world. A world where someone discovering their own neurotype or struggling with co-occurring conditions feels seen, heard, and validated right from the start. Remember, your experience is valid. I'll see you in the next